Hey guys, what's going on? So today I have an album review for the new GRUESOME album, Twisted Prayers. But the album we're playing in the background couldn't be more appropriate, other than maybe the album I'm actually reviewing, but Spiritual Healing by Death. So anyways, for those of you who don't know GRUESOME, they're starting to get pretty big, and they've only been around for like 4 years. They've been around since 2014. And they're basically like a Death clone, or they're more of a tribute band than a clone, because some of their stuff sounds so close to Death that it's pretty much just a tribute to Death rather than a band that happens to sound a lot like them. But anyways, this is their second full length. It came out on June 1st, 2018, so like 10 days ago or something like that. It's on Relapse, and it is 42 minutes and 35 seconds long. So yeah, so basically their last album, Savage Land, was like a tribute to leprosy, and then this album is obviously a tribute to Spiritual Healing, which you could tell by the album title and the album cover. But it does have a lot of touches of leprosy in it still, though. But I mean, a lot of people are bitching and complaining about how people are saying that, you know, it's just a Death clone and it sounds too much like Death. And I mean, it sounds a lot like fucking Death. And I mean, I'm not sure how to feel about that, because it's like, I'd rather just listen to Death. But I mean, if you're such a huge Death fan that like you're burnt out on all the albums, and this is a good band to listen to, I guess, because it's basically just like remakes of Death songs. It's like not re-recordings, but just like if they rewrote it, if like the notes and stuff were the same cadence and everything. But it's done very well though, and it's still thoroughly enjoyable. But yeah, a lot of the song structures are really identical and similar to the Spiritual Healing and Leprosy era. The riffs, even the lyrics, just are very similar. The production sounds really damn good. It's like if you took Spiritual Healing and you like cleaned it up. Although I think the vocals are just a little bit too crystal clear in the mix, but I'm just nitpicking. It's not really that big a deal. The production is really good. And even the guitar harmonies are like dead on, like exactly like Chuck's harmonies. And like I said, here and there, there's really strong touches of leprosy though. Like in the song Fate, there's a tapping part that sounds like exactly like the tapping in Left to Die. Like the way that it just goes in the song, it's just really cool. And there's part of the song Lethal Legacy that sounds like really similar to a riff from Pull the Plug. And the song structures and the riffs and stuff in Crusade of Brutality, they're really similar to the riffs in the title track from Leprosy. So yeah, and the song A Waste of Life is really similar to the title track from Spiritual Healing. So yeah, but I mean, even if it's really unoriginal, it's still done very well. And like I said, it's thoroughly enjoyable. There's 8 tracks, and they're all about like 5 to 6 minutes long. This is kind of a difficult album to review because there's not much like really original or unique about it, but it's still a good album. Like, so it's not like I could just shit on it for being unoriginal, because it's not original, but it's good though, and it doesn't really need to be original because it's just something that you want to hear in tribute to Death. You know, it isn't something I would buy with my own money, but it's a good album to just like put on in the background if like you're like doing something. But if you're like, fuck, I want to listen to some Death, I'd rather just listen to Death. But this is still good though. It's not to take away from this. The album has a really nice flow to it, which is something I enjoy. And actually, the title track reminds me a little bit of like Human era Death. I think the cadence is similar to Suicide Machine, just a little bit. But yeah, it's done very well. I mean, if you'd rather just listen to Death, I completely understand. But this is still an enjoyable album. It's just not that original, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't need to be, because it's a fucking tribute band. So I mean, if you don't like it, just don't listen to it. I found it enjoyable though. Yeah, I'm interested to see what this band does in the future though with the rest of Death's albums, to see if they clone, I don't know if they clone Scream Bloody Gore. I know they have some EPs, but I haven't listened to those. But it'd be interesting to see them clone Human or Individual Thought Patterns or Symbolic or Sound for Spirits, just any of the Death albums. It's just interesting to see where this band will go, cloning Death's sound. But it's really cool though. It's just a nice thing. What's funny is that after listening to this album, I had songs from Spiritual Healing stuck in my head. But yeah, like the cadence of the riffs and everything is spot on, but it's just done really well. But like I said, this is a really fucking hard album to review, because it's basically like reviewing Spiritual Healing and Leprosy. But it's just really tough because there's not a lot original about it. But it's still very good though, like I said. I'm not shitting on it for being unoriginal, I'm just describing how it's very similar to Spiritual Healing. But I don't know, I'd give this about a 7 out of 10. It's a solid album, nothing groundbreaking of course, but it doesn't need to be. But it's still very just fun to listen to. But yeah, that's it for this video though, short review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.